Today we're going to look at 3-1 inequalities in their graphs. So make sure you write that at the top of your notes page. First we're going to look at writing inequalities. This is very similar to what we did in Chapter 1, and the graphic organizer that we created in Chapter 1 would be a good resource to use in this section as well. So let's look at number 1. It says all real numbers x less than or equal to -7. Alright, so all real numbers x less than or equal to -7. Okay, let's look at number 2. Number 2 says 6 less than a number k is greater than 13. Okay, so if we look at our graphic organizer, and if you didn't get that graphic organizer out, it might be a good idea to pause the video, get your notes, and look at that graphic organizer. So 6 less than a number, this means subtraction, and whenever it says less than a number, we always write it backwards, so it's k minus 6 is greater than 13. Okay? Now it's your turn. So you guys try one. Have you do this one, number 3. The product of t and 6 is greater than 12. Alright, so pause the video, see if you can work that out, and again you can use your graphic organizer from Chapter 1. Okay, so let's see if you got it right. So the product means multiplication. So we're going to multiply t and 6. Usually we put 6t because it's kind of weird to put t times 6. And then we put is greater than 12. Alright, did you do a good job? If so, tell yourself you're a superstar. And then let's go ahead and move on to the next objective. Alright, the second objective is identifying solutions by evaluating. So basically we're going to plug numbers in and see if they're true. So, identify solutions by evaluating. So let's do this first one. Is the number a solution of 2x plus 1 greater than negative 3. Right? And the first number that we're going to use is negative 3. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this negative 3 and we're going to substitute it in for x. So I'm going to have 2 and then I'm going to put parentheses. And where those parentheses is where this negative 3 is going to go. Plus 1 is greater than negative 3. Now I'm just going to simplify. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Plus 1 is greater than negative 3. Simplify. Negative 5 is greater than negative 3. So is negative 5 greater than negative 3? The answer is no. Right? You can also look at the numbers on a number line. Negative 3 is here. Negative 5 is here. So negative 5 is clearly smaller than negative 3. Alright, let's look at another example. Alright, same problem. We're still looking at 2x plus 1 is greater than negative 3. And this time we're going to substitute in negative 1. So again, I'm going to take this negative 1 and I'm going to substitute it in for x. So I'm going to have 2 parentheses. Where the parentheses are is where the negative 1 is going to go. And then finish the problem plus 1 greater than negative 3. Combine like terms. Simplify this first. We get negative 2 plus 1 greater than negative 3. Negative 1 greater than negative 3. Is that true? Yes. And again, we can look at it on a number line. Here's negative 1. Here's negative 3. So negative 1 is further to the right than negative 3. So yes, negative 1 is bigger than negative 3. And that's an example of identifying solutions by evaluating. So let's go ahead and have you guys try one. Alright, let's look at this first one. Alright, the equation is 3y minus 8 is greater than 22. And we want to look and see, is 2 a solution to this problem? Alright, so in order to figure this out, I'm going to take 2 and I'm going to substitute him in for y. So it's going to be 3 parentheses 2 minus 8 is greater than 22. 6 minus 8 is greater than 22. Negative 2 is greater than 22. And the answer is no. Again, we can look on a number line. Negative 2 is here. Negative 22 is clear down here. So 22 is further to the right, which means that it is bigger. All right? Let's try one more, because we haven't done one with a greater than or equal to sign. This will be our last example. And let's do this one. This looks like a pretty good one. M times m minus 3 is less than or equal to 27. Alright, so if we look at this one, let's go ahead and do a equals negative 6. Or a is negative 6, I'm sorry, that's not equals. It wants us to plug that in for m. So we're going to take this and we're going to plug it in for m in both cases, because there's two places where we have an m. So I'm going to have negative 6 parentheses, negative 6 minus 3 is less than or equal to 27. So you see what I did, right? I took this negative 6 and I plugged it in for this m, and I took the negative 6 and I plugged it in for this m. Okay? So now I'm going to have negative 6. Order of operations says to do what's in the parentheses first. Now I'm going to multiply. So is 54 less than or equal to 27? No. Alright, so is this making sense to you? So tomorrow in class, what we'll do is we'll do a couple of these where we have to solve them, where we have to write the equation like we did the first time, and then where we have to plug these in, and then one more type of problem is write an inequality. So given n is less than 5, you have to make the inequality. So we would just say a number n is less than 5. So again, we're stating what the problem is actually saying. Alright? So we'll work on that tomorrow, and that is the end of our notes for today.